Hello everyone! So I hope you like school because this will be a teaching video. So grab your notebook, sharpen your pencil, clean your glasses if you have them, and get ready. So for the new players, it can be a lot of things to take in at first when you start playing the game. But in the main menu page, you do have this item tab you can click, and here you can hover over all the different items to see what they do. You can click the different stars here to see what they do upgraded. This can be very helpful when you're starting out. And in this page, you have the different types or tribes or whatever you want to call them here at the top. And then you have the neutral items. And all of these items you can find in the shop normally. And then you have the other tab here, which are items you can't find in the shop normally. Like these forged blades, for example, you get from the anvil. And the rest of these you only get from events. However, the Carmen Lucky Roll shops can contain anything, including all of these, including all of the potions. And let's get to the potions. They can be very confusing because throughout the game, different events and encounters will call them different things. So they're all potions, but these thin ones will be called vials. Like day 4, you have one of the encounters which will give you some vials. That would be all of these thin ones. And everything to the left of this would be potions. They will always be referred to as potions. And then from the crystal essence and to the end here, these are called essences. They're still potions, but they're called essences. And these will give a tag or a type, tribe, whatever to an item. So let's take the elf essence, for example. If we give this to the blazing bull, it would have the shield, flame, and the elven tag. And it would show up on the item. And you would do that to use this elvish orb, for example, because this will give an elven item above +2 multicast permanently at 1 stars. At 0 stars, it's +1. And by using these essences, you can make some very strong combinations. Like you could use this frozen orb to give this elvish orb frozen. This would trigger this, so instead of waiting 13 seconds, you could use this. And this can have multicast, which this can't, so then you could give this multicast way faster. It's just a lot of strong combinations you can use there. And other than this items tab, in the settings, you can see all the different hotkeys in the game, which a lot of people in the Discord keep asking about what the different hotkeys are. And this is where you can see it. And also disable it, enable it. And this quick sell item and the sort, I use a bunch. They're very convenient. You can also enable the guaranteed Carmen if you just want a fun, casual game. I like doing this. And before we get into the game, let's talk about what the difference between ranked and casual is. So in ranked, you will fight against people in your bracket. And it's not mentioned here, but bronze and silver would be one bracket. So if you're bronze, you can fight people all the way up to silver. If you're gold, that bracket is gold through master. And the last bracket is just grandmaster and above. And when you play ranked, whenever you enter a fight, the game will take a snapshot of your board and will add it to the pool of ghosts which other people can face. So when you play ranked, people can see your board and fight it. But if you play casual, you will always fight against people from the bronze and silver bracket, but from ranked, because they're the only ones that make ghosts. When you play casual, you won't make ghosts. So even if you're Grandmaster, you will be playing against people from the ranked pool in bronze and silver. So that's the difference here. So let's just get into a game and I'll show you guys what is probably the most consistent and best strategy in my opinion. So it's very flexible. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play around this chest here. As you can see, when we triple an item, you get a chest reward. And at level 1 and 2, that would be a rare item. But at level 3 and 4, you get an epic item. And the epic items can be very build defining or just give you a very strong power spike in the mid game, which will let you just power level while this item is carrying you to get ahead of the curve and just have a much smoother game. So to play around this, we're gonna pick up all the 15 gold items we can see. It doesn't matter which one we buy, we just want the cheapest items and as many of them as possible. Although we don't want to combine them yet, so if we find another novice blade here, we would skip it. But we did find a refined spear, so that's perfect. Now let's just do the fight. And this guy is doing the opposite. I assume he has more flame items locked in the shop, and he's going for the synergy. But I don't think that's a good strategy. It will often lose you the early rounds, you'll scale and maybe start winning in the mid game, but then people will start outscaling you because they focused on economy while you spent all your money on these early game items. So we're not doing that. We're just buying these cheap items. The moon knife is also very good. This is pretty much free. If we buy this, we get 16 XP. If we sell it, we get 15 gold back. So if we spent the same money leveling, we earn 1 gold by using the moon knife. And we might also triple it for another chest. So there we have a novice blade. So now we're just gonna keep this shop frozen until we're level 3. Which feels very weird because it feels like we're missing out on opportunities by not seeing more items. But these early game items, they're not super impactful in the long term, so we don't really care. We just want to combine these items. And day 3, we get the choice between Blessing and Healing Touch. If you are level 2 at this point, I recommend going for Healing Touch, unless for some reason you want to stay low level and get more common items because you have a better chance to find them at low level. I would pick this to get more value out of level up. Because when you level, you get more HP based on your current max HP. So if you pick this, you will get more HP compared to if you pick this. So this is kind of economy in and of itself, because you need to level up less times to have the same amount of HP as if you pick this option. But we haven't leveled, so getting the 10 income and more flat HP over the next days will be about the same. Let's level here. And even though we can afford something, we don't care about any of these items, so we're just gonna keep this frozen to get the epic item next day. And we will lose this fight because this guy is shielding a bunch. So we can just concede this to speed this up. We have won 2 fights already. So we do have 2 trophies, and all we need is 5 trophies to not lose ranking. But we're going for 10 trophies. Day 4, I recommend going for the economy options. Here, the goblet, I would say, is the best. Let's level. Now we start getting the epic items. So let's see what we get. Okay, so both of these items I would say are kind of build defining. We can start reducing the cooldown on this very early. At 2 stars, this becomes very strong. This item can be very good if we get some extra burn on it and reduce its cooldown. But this requires way more things and setup to make work, while this will just work in and of itself. So I think we grab this, and now we start looking for the bow and the spear. There's a spear. There's another one. And here we can get the chest and get another epic item. So I do really like a Dreamcatcher. We don't have anything it would be very useful on, but let's pick it up regardless. So this reduces a cooldown per moon item, start of combat. So if we sell this and buy the Night Quill, instead of reducing by 0.6 seconds, it will reduce by 1.2 seconds. Okay, never mind, the 3 number there wasn't correct. It's reduced by 0.8, we just had 2, which makes sense. I think it used to be moon and elven items, and it's still counting that in the pre-battle screen, because this is an elven. That was so close. Well, that's fine. So we don't need more of these swords, so I think we can just level here. Now we have a better chance to find epics. There is another one. So let's just sell the goblet here to buy that. And I think we can sell this for another moon knife. Now this will reduce by even more. And we can freeze to combine it. Although, I probably should get this elven orb. No, this isn't elven anymore. Never mind. That's a shame, because giving this more multicast is very powerful. We might get the elven event, day 6 though. So this guy is ramping up the poison, so we probably lose this, but we are getting this down to close to 1 second. So I wouldn't say Elven Orb is one of the better items to focus on early, because it's hard to scale the damage on it. Although we could use the candies to give it scaling. Because we're at 3 hearts, I think we should. Although this event might be gone by the time you watch this video. So it is kind of cheating to take this. So maybe we go for this. Nah, let's cheat. Who's gonna stop me? Let's get another epic item. So this sells for the most. We can grab this bow, because now we just need one more to combine them. So this is down to 1.7, so we can sell this, combine it. There we have a lost fragment, which is a very good item. Let's start scaling this up a bit. Now this is down to 1 second. There's something so satisfying about the fast activating item. The dopamine. I think we just level for more HP and more income. I think we're strong enough at this point. We're not super strong, but strong enough to win these fights. This guy will apply a lot of poison, but I think we kill fast enough. So here, because we're at 3 hearts and we lose 3 hearts per loss we take, we can get another life if we take this. And let's just keep grabbing these candies. Let's keep leveling. I think it's worth it to sell this to grab even more candies. Now we get more damage on this. This runic shield is a very strong mid-game item. If we had less HP, we probably would have lost this fight. So here we can either go for Lyra or Carmen. And what I'm thinking here is we can either go for absolute zero to just get a 2 seconds head start, and in the late game, ideally we kill in less than 2 seconds. So we would kill them before they have time to use their items. We could also go for Northern Offering, which will allow us to make an item frosty and get a frozen orb. We could make this frosty, because this is producing its own cooldown every time it casts, but the force trigger from the frozen orb would ignore that, so we could get multicast on this very fast. We could also go for the lucky rolls, which will give us a better chance to get this to 2 stars. And at 2 stars, this becomes very powerful. So I think we go for Carmen here. Let's level again, just get more HP. And let's start looking for these high blades. So I'm glad we've leveled a lot, because this guy is dealing a lot of damage. If this poison had time to ramp up, it could have been scary, but honestly it was way less scary than I expected. Let's go for the Sapphire. If we can get enough crit on this, the Sapphire will be very powerful. There's more crit. Let's buy whatever candy to start scaling the effectiveness of them. Let's freeze for these, because for some reason the candies, they're bugged right now, so whenever you freeze the shop with them, when they show up again, you will get different candies. And because this is just a temporary event and the game is still in its demo, the developer has more important things to focus on than fixing the candy bugs, because they will be gone by next month. This guy is pretty scary. Maybe with extra multicast, and if we crit enough, we could win, but I doubt it. Yeah, it was close though. Here I always pick the right side for the lucky rolls. Although we do have Carmen, but just having the guaranteed lucky rolls is very nice. Okay, so I think this Phantom Brew is a bit too expensive, although it could be very good. I do like the Moon Essence because we already have a Night Quill, because there's a Moon item which will give multicast to our Moon items start of combat. And this will multiply it, so if we can make this Moon with that item, we can get more multicast faster, which is pretty good. So I think we just go like this, and there it is. That's the item I was talking about. So let's make this Moon. Get more crit, more heal. Let's freeze for this item. Now we're at 62% crit. This guy is applying a lot of poison though. So we will be down to our last life here. We really do need to combine. Wait, was this already Moon? Am I dumb? Yes, it is. Let's not talk about that. Oh, okay. That just happened. Let's level again, and let's find this. I think we can sell this for another Moon Veil. Let's try to find the last of the high blades. So we might honestly lose there. This might be the end of the road, but I think we'll barely win here. Yes, we did. Perfect. Let's grab this. More crit. Almost 100%. Finding these last two higher blades would make a huge difference, because then this starts scaling its damage. This guy is applying a lot of debuffs, but we do kill fast enough. More damage, that's amazing. A free moon veil. And we can upgrade this. Hopefully we survive until the next shop. Yeah, not even close. There we go. Let's grab whatever sells for the most. And I doubt we'll have... Yeah, we won't have enough money or time to get this to 2 stars. So let's just hope we can find this Moon Veil upgrade. This would be nice to get, but it's the last fight. We can't sell for it. Looks like we're just going for candies here. There's another one. Can we find the last one? We could not. So I think we just buy all these damage potions or candies. Just sell that as well. Yeah, the candies, they're super strong. We'll kill this guy instantly. There you have it. Do we even beat the Gremlin? I think so. And how much do we deal to the Oak? So I hope you guys learned something from this video. It was a teaching video after all. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time, and don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. It really helps.